Most people read the headlines. I read the small print. This is Footnotes, where I find the biggest stories in the smallest detail. We have all been there, sitting on that crinkly paper in a doctor's office, waiting for an answer. We expect a neat label and a quick fix, but the history of psychology is rarely neat, and it's almost never quick. I'm Brenda, and on today's Footnotes, we're looking at a case that's going to make you rethink everything you thought you knew about the experts. Get ready, this one gets a little uncomfortable. In the early 1970s, a young psychologist named David had a question that would make the most esteemed medical minds in the country a little bit nervous. He wanted to know if the men in white coats, the ones we trust to judge the fitness of the human mind, could actually tell the difference between the sane and the insane. So David gathered a group, 8 healthy, normal people, a painter, a housewife, a few psychologists. Their mission was simple: go to a psychiatric hospital and tell just one lie. Tell the doctor you hear voices, vague voices that whisper words like thud. Now, you'd think a trained professional would see right through it, but all 8 volunteers were admitted, every single one. Once they were behind those locked doors, the volunteers stopped acting. They behaved perfectly normal. They were friendly, they were cooperative, they took notes on their experience. But the doctors? They didn't see normal. When a volunteer took notes, the doctor scribbled down, "Patient engages in compulsive writing behavior." When a volunteer waited quietly for lunch, the charts read, "Patient exhibits withdrawn tendencies." The doctors were blind, but the other patients, they weren't. The real patients pulled the volunteers aside and whispered, "You don't belong here. You're a journalist or a professor." The, quote, crazy people could see the truth. The experts could not. When the study was published, the medical community let out a howl of protest. One prestigious hospital challenged David. They said, "Send us your fake patients. We'll catch them." David agreed. Over the next 3 months, the hospital proudly identified 41 imposters trying to sneak into their wards. And that is when David dropped this bombshell. You see, in those 3 months, David hadn't sent a single person. Every, quote, fake the hospital caught was a real human being truly in need of help, whom the experts had simply labeled a fraud. Psychology was never the same again because David Rosenhan proved that once you hang a label on a man, it's nearly impossible to see the man behind it. This is Brenda, and this has been Footnotes.